Hello everybody and welcome back to the Dark Ray Gaming Club. So today we are going to be not playing any games, not right now. I did say this in the updates of when I released Praya 06 that I was going to do a painting showcase, but that originally was supposed to be me showcasing the character I'm supposed to do on the Praya Q&A. So for today, what today's video is going to be is that I'm going to be painting this reason drawing I did on sketching and painting it right, and just going to be painting it. Well, this is going to be a phase 1. So this is not going to be a full color version of it. All I'm doing is just going to be just simply drawing the character, just trying to make sure this appears almost looking like it's digital. So for those who don't know what I'm drawing is this. This is a painting battle between, for those who don't know, Spirit TDR boyfriend against a corrupted version of Bonyx girlfriend. Just straight up, this is just a request from Bonyx, who asked me to really reveal what actually she looks like as a Friday Night Funkin' character already in the state of corruption. So for those who don't know what this is a original creation of somebody by the name Phantom Fear, who's still in the development of his version of the corruption. There are already so many out there, but Phantom Fear is the most iconic one. So what you notice right now is that my version of it comes from an inspiration from the reimagined version of it, where it has one thing very, very original. So for those who never played it, what happened in that part of the story is that Spirit, one of the antagonists of the Friday Night Funkin' games, in the version of his game, he managed to win the fight and take over boyfriend's body. Now that gave us the introduction of Spirit Boyfriend, a more better version of what others have tried over the years. And I personally just like the design better, which is why my TDR boyfriend is in his spirit form. But here's the thing. Whoever created the other version, I forgot his name, of the YouTuber who actually worked on that one, on that reimagined version. Sorry if I don't say your name. What he did is that actually Spirit took over boyfriend's body, and boyfriend, unfortunately, because he has no body to possess, he dies. Yeah, that's sad for people who like boyfriend. So this version of my version of TDR boyfriend, he's not technically in the. This is not Spirit, like straight up. My version of Spirit Boyfriend is not Spirit. This is still the normal TDR boyfriend, except that Spirit decided to sacrifice his existence to give boyfriend such powers. Now, this of course came at a cost that Spirit is gone, not existing anymore, which means he's not in the afterlife or anywhere. He's just, not there. He's not in any other world. He's just in a nowhere. So yeah, that is basically the story of what happened. This is not TDR spirit or anything. This is the actual This is the actual boyfriend with Spirit's power, which still explains why does he have the same spiral eyes as the normal Spirit boyfriend. Now I talked a bit. Now I'm talking a bit of this. It's time to finally talk about the main reason why I'm doing this video. Is Project Q&A. You may all know I talked about that a ton of times. Yeah, and I talked about it a ton of times that it just may be possible that people are still dumbfounded to ask what in the world am I talking about. Well, here's the thing. Project Q&A is just simply a question and answer show. For those who don't know what am I talking about, is basically a somebody just answering the questions of a certain fan or a certain person who has curiosity of knowing the characters. That comes a lot in many places. And it can also be you can also use like characters like Sonic and everything, which they also have that type of show. Even there's also fan made versions of it. But what my entire friends are doing is just to simply take our characters, not the Friday Night Funkin' characters. My apologies if you guys were expecting that. And no, we're taking our very own OC version, our own OC, our very own creations, and put the character together to create this Q&A show. For an official name, we have no names yet. So if people have an idea how to call it, leave it in the comments below, and we will think about it, because right now we don't have any idea how to call it. This is gonna be a long video, so stick around if you want to know more. So if you don't want to, you're free to leave as you want. And so we're gonna continue. Friday Q&A is not going to be based on our characters just from, it's like this is canon or something, like our characters mean like some sort of crossover canon. No. I'm not sure if I did this right. You know what? I actually did, my bad. Yeah, so you may all be asking why I'm not putting more layers to actually help me. Because I'm lazy. I'm sorry, but this is I'm actually not like the greatest person to use this application, clip painting studio. This is actually really amazing place for you for artists who want to just draw. So I'll leave a link in the description for the application. Also, warning sign that you have to pay in order to get a ton of equipment that this thing has. I only pay $4 a month to just continue to save my photos, because normally you would not be able to unless you create an account or something like that, which I still find it very stupid to this day. It's almost wasting money, and I almost do it without even noticing that I already got paid. Luckily for me, this is a fair application that really works in my personal opinion, and hopefully those who use it also find this one as a bit fair in terms of the payment and everything. Hope you all are enjoying this application, because this is actually, if I say, maybe the best painting app in the entire history, because the things you can do here is just like Photoshop illustration, which is technically the thing I'm gonna be studying in college tomorrow. Yeah, why am I here instead of sleeping right now so that I can get ready for college? Well, it's because I have already because it's already 8. I sleep around 9 or 10, so it's not a big thing for me. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is just continue painting this thing until the end, and not coloring it yet. I'm not coloring it. I'm not doing that. That will be a phase 2, which is going to be more talking about the project, and most importantly, more about this most of this thing I'm actually doing. So let's talk more about Prior Q&A, which is going to be what I'm gonna say is that Prior Q&A has its own channel. All of those things will not be all the episodes will not be posted on my channel or Kikito's channel, which is a friend of mine who's actually doing as well who did as well only one video. And we actually did this Discord meeting when we were talking about this, and I already established that the reason why we can't do it in each of the channels is because, one, in my channel it's all about video games. I know I'm painting, so I'm basically just not establishing that myself, but this is just a simple thing. I just wanted to showcase how I am truly an artist, not like full-on gamer. And the other reason why we couldn't do it on Kikito's channel is because he hasn't even posted one thing ever since his Naruto painting, which was super sick, man. Like you guys had to watch that video. That was sick. So yeah, I will leave a link in the description. I will leave his YouTube channel in the description so that you people can just go and watch him do his painting, which is really cool. And if you enjoy it, leave a like on that video, because it's could actually just make him go back to YouTube. So yeah, so we decided that we were going to create a very own channel for the project. So that came with the project Q&A, which is a channel now which has no subscriber except for from my channel to give actually tiny support. So yeah, if you want to know what it looks like, that project Q&A channel is just simply a Deku painting from his most recent arc, actually from the anime. I would recommend you guys watch that, because that was sick to see again. Actually, I should not make those bigger. So yeah, Bright Q&A doesn't have an official date at when the first episode is coming out, because we're going to be working on the sketches of the characters we're doing. My character is actually by the name of Jack. For those who really do know, he's one of the main characters I draw, instead of the Dark Red, who's the Saiyan equivalent. Now, I'm not saying that even Jack is by that same name. Dark Red is still going to be the name for basically everything I myself create, not along my friends, because this channel is basically my place where I can do what a lot of what I want, without people just telling me what to do or everything, because this is my channel, to be perfectly honest, and my family's not even allowed. It's not gonna be allowed to even enter the channel and post whatever they want. I know I'm saying that because I may sound a bit arrogant there, because I'm just saying, oh my god, my channel's successful, which is not. You all know my channel's not like the hype, not hype or anything. It's not the biggest thing ever. I'm just stating this just because I want to make sure I establish security over this channel of mine. Actually, let's take a look at what it looks like right now. Yeah, it looks good. So now that I talk about a bit about the project Q&A, let's talk about this painting, which is funny. It's actually a story behind it, and here's the thing. I will explain the origins of why I'm making this drawing, and here's what happened. Basically, after the Discord meeting of the project Q&A, which we promised that we were going to start working on it, my friend Bonyx, who I don't want to reveal her true name, as I don't want people to actually disturb her. She actually saw this drawing of mine where I already showcased a more worried TDR boyfriend against her Bonyx version, her girlfriend version of Bonyx. And she was actually curious, and she asked me to actually paint her like a full body and a full shown of what she actually looks like. And I said sure, because I didn't think it was gonna be this hard. Wow, and I was a big dummy when I realized, yeah, this was gonna be hard. When I was trying to draw this face, the face, I have a billion of issues with it when it comes to doing on a sketch. And that came with more issues, that I had to realize that I may want to try to do a actual boyfriend model. Each one of those other paintings sucked. Like, that is after I bought this new sketchbook on Publix, which I would never recommend any of you to go there and buy like a sketchbook. Those things cost like $9. They're very, very high prices there. I don't understand what's happening. So I bought the sketchbook. Please don't buy it. It's just not worth it, because it's just $9. I got it. I made this painting on the first page, and it ends up being really good. That's why right now I'm making this video of me painting this most recent drawing. I'm not saying recent. This is like a now drawing. Like, there's nothing saying that it's recent. So yeah. So what is going on in this story? So this is supposed to be a story based on our version of ourselves in this Friday Night Funkin' universe, which I'm basically the boyfriend model, although not in relationship with anybody. Girlfriend is just Bonyx, but no relationship either. Kikito is supposed to be interpretation of Pico and other characters more. What happened in this story is that in this version of the story, Kikito was not the one to sacrifice himself in order to buy time for the others. It was instead Bonyx who did it. And after Spirit, the character who I mentioned before, freed Boyfriend and gave his power, all of them decided to go back to the same place they first started this war with the corruption, and actually found Bonyx, also girlfriend, well, as a like quote unquote girlfriend as well, because her name is actually the Bonyx, not girlfriend, but that's just a nickname. When they see her, the others, instead of Pico and Boyfriend, some of them decide to hide so that Boyfriend could be the one to handle the job. Now, for those who don't know, Phantom Fear released this song called Strangle. If you never heard it, you're basically just not listening to any Friday Night Funkin' song. That one was so fire, dude. I love the tone the tone changes and everything on that song. But that song was the actual one I want to use in this battle of rap battling, because it shows how TDR Boyfriend, even though he knows he has to do this to fight her, it's just not helping. His feelings of friendship is impeding him from taking this seriously. That is, of course, until Spirit's like kind of like essence, although Spirit's gone, telling him that he still can't fight. He just have to be determined in order to free all of his friends, which in the end does work. He frees girlfriend, and this is how the story basically just turns so easy for the heroes, because there's simply no competition for them. They freed them all, and that was the end of the war. Although there was still one more looming threat around, which of course TDR Boyfriend knows who it is. And that is basically the basic of the story. There's more to it. Like, for example, this is supposed to be supposed to be a what if scenario, because this never happened in the original timeline of events. It actually happened that instead it was actually Kikito, also known as Pico, who was the one who sacrificed, but not girlfriend. And that other is the actual canonical ending, the actual canonical timeline, because this one is supposed to be like some sort of what if timeline. And that's basically what happened. In this timeline, girlfriend is the one who decides to sacrifice herself, and not Pico. This, of course, still leaves us with a similar ending of the good ending, while also only changing a bit of us change some things that don't technically affect the story. It's just a tiny change, but does nothing, because the story in the end will remain the same. Which is basically how in these days what ifs have been doing like that. For those who don't know, there's a lot of Dragon Ball what if, and most of them are not that great. I'm very sorry for those who just work so hard on them, but I just seriously do not like how some people handle their stories and everything. Like saying, what if Goku got Thanos' powers or something? Like, what kind of what if is that? And where did that even what was that to think? I want to see like what ifs that it actually makes sense of, like what if Gogeta was in a Tournament of Power, or what if Vegeta was in a Tournament of Power? That would have been more interesting to see. Some already YouTubers had done that work already, and I must say that while they did great on power scaling, their attitude was not that great. Which next time they do something like this, please don't do that same attitude of joking again. Because yes, Vegeta would have definitely disabled Jiren, but do we have to be like so comedian to just say that, or just be more serious and straight up says, yes, Vegeta can just basically destroy Jiren. Let me look right now. Looks good. Now you may be asking why I'm not like painting the spirals already, and this is the reason. Here's the reason why. The reason why I'm not painting them right now is because I'm planning on doing them pink, just like the normal spirit boyfriend. And because of that, I have to leave it as the last thing I have to do before going to girlfriend next. So, these characters, are they the same as the original boyfriend and girlfriend, or are they different? They're different. That's the straight up answer. They're just different. This boyfriend of here is actually a bit more cocky than the original boyfriend, which doesn't really help him, because that's actually a similar thing that the original boyfriend is. But this one is actually more cocky because he actually just wants to show that he's better than anybody around, which is why he always brings his friends to every single of his rap battles, because he always wants to showcase how good he is in all of these rap battles and and make them all impressed, which works in the end. But there's just some occasions where it doesn't, and it just goes horribly sometimes. And yeah, so I talked a bit about Friday Night Funkin' a bit. Well, I want to talk also about some of the games that I'll be playing in the next videos, because there's also one more project I actually want to do, and this is actually going to be in this channel, and this is going to be something that mostly nobody will pay attention to. I just hope people at least can give it a chance. And I'll talk first about the video games and then this final project. So when it comes to overall what I'm gonna be playing in the next videos, it actually depends on what I want. Either do Friday Night Funkin' Random Mods Part 2, or do more of Project 06, because I still think that I have more to explain on that game. Or maybe do a full playthrough or speed run, even though I'm horrible at it. I'm horrible at speed running, and I don't think I'll be able to do that anytime soon. If you guys want to, leave a comment if you want to or not, because I personally do not think I'll be able to anytime soon. So yeah, I think I never mentioned this for Project 06, but what I would recommend to Chaos X to please just do is to make Silver have some melee attacks. I know it's a lot to ask, but when I use Silver a lot of times in Kingdom Valley, which is the only location I ever use him, because in the Shadow version of the game, I hate using Silver, dude. I hate using him in every single of those stages. But Kingdom Valley is the only location I can use him a bit properly. The only issue I find is that Silver's telekinesis stun him for some time, that if I'm close to an enemy and they start shooting, they will hit me. And either that's my fault, or is that the game, or is that Silver freezes in some seconds before he can start moving. Now, I don't know is that my fault or everything, but if it is my fault, then my bad. But it will still not change the fact that I want to please have him do some melee attacks, like punching or something. I don't know, maybe that same punch he was trying to do on Shadow on the cutscenes of the Retail 06 or something like that. I don't know, just please just one melee attack. If it ends up being a dream come true, thank you, Chaos X, for that. But right now, I just want to ask that. That's all I want. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do more Project 06 videos because I really want to do when the Silver Edition release. I'm saying Silver Edition when it's just called the Silver Update, but I just love calling it the Silver Edition, because we first have the Sonic Edition and then we have the Shadow Edition. Why not call it the Silver Edition then? I'm so dumb. So yeah. So when it comes to overall Friday Night Funkin', there's a ton of mods out there I really would wish to try. I recently got this new one actually from this new merch Friday Night Funkin', where some characters are actually a fusion between others. Like for example, a boyfriend fusion with Pico, creating this new boyfriend that is actually very different from the original. Very, very different actually, because he's actually more like Pico, but instead he is some sort of hitman. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever do that one. Maybe for just the week 1, because week 2 is just really hard for me, and plus I don't like that week at all. So yeah. I personally don't know what I'm gonna do for Friday Night Funkin' because there's not a lot of mods that I'm personally interested with, and I personally do not want to do a lot of mods because there's just some that are not good, and not just straight out that they're bad in terms of graphic or everything. It's just bad because they have some concept in there don't want to do. For example, we have baddies, which is still have not gotten one update ever since. Like, I know we have the baddies nightmare mod, but that was just it after that, because after that nothing came out. But that was all the update, or am I dumbfounded and the update's out already? I don't know. Whatever it is that mod is not out. I'm still gonna be planning on playing it because that review I did for baddies was just the first time I ever talked so long, dude, and I loved it. I love talking sometimes, even though I'm mostly the most quiet person in the family. Like, I personally do not talk a lot, and mostly it's when I'm alone. If I'm alone, I don't talk at all. Like, I'm mostly the shy, like mostly shy. I don't like talking to people because lack of trust and everything. But if I'm with my family, you really will expect me to talk just a bit. But if I'm alone, that's exactly the time you'll start hearing me. I think it's just straight out that I have somebody listening to me already in the other room, because our walls are not soundproof, which I just wish one day that could change. That's just a stupid thing I'm just mentioning right now. But yeah. Okay, we're not done with boyfriend. I'm not sure if am I taking like 20 minutes in the video. I may actually pause for a second to just check how long have I been drawing. You know what? I am actually gonna do it. 28 minutes I've been drawing. 28 minutes, dude. I don't believe I'm this slow in drawing. Like, I normally take so little to finish a drawing on hand. Like, I'm straight up saying on hand, and I'm this slow on the computer. Somebody explain this to me. How am I slow? Well, I will be much slower because I have to paint it soon, but I'm not doing it until part 2. And yes, I'm not planning to make this video as long as like the others. Also, I posted already a short for the Kefla Sengai, and I may talk about that one. And also why I have never pull a Dragon Ball Legends video for so long, since that is the first ever game I ever posted, and it got really good views. Some decent, some horrible, like the Kid Buu one I did. That was horrible. No, actually, that was not from Kid Buu. That was actually for Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and I did horrible on that one. That one was the worst video ever made. And the view count already expressed that. I think I'm almost done with boyfriend. All I had to do was just paint the terrifying mark. Which, yes, in this drawing, he's actually trembling in fear a bit, because he knows he has to fight her, and yes, he's a bit scared. Also because I'm gonna put like some quotes on the final part of the drawing that she says, "Hello, old friend," with an expression like that, where she's pulling her fingers to shit. I'm actually saying that. That sounded weird. Like, that sounded so weird. Oh my god, that sounded so weird. She's just using her finger to just like say, "Come here closer," and he's like saying, "I'm screwed." Like, like he's saying like it's game over for him. Like, he's straight up saying, "I'm not winning this anytime." But of course he tries and it works. So, happy ending. Yeah, that was stupid for me to say. But yeah, that is technically what's happening in this drawing. It's just gonna be her just saying hello, old friend, with her finger showing that she wants him to get closer in order to fight, and he's just like trembling. That's basically all what this drawing basically is. And I may use this for the thumbnail, this painting, for to put it in the thumbnail just to showcase if it's done or not. Because the answer is, this is almost like 50% done when I'm done with the drawing. And that is just gonna be all, because part 2 will actually be a 90% completion until the final one, which is, I think, is gonna be a bit more short. That is where we actually will see the completed version of it, because right now I don't have no hopes to finish this just one night. Also, will I be playing more games like, say, Five Nights at Freddy's? No, I'm not. My family very much hate that game. And not because it's bad over say that it's a bad game, it's just that they don't love the concept of it. Not even closely. So, yeah. You never expect me to play that game. Plus, because Security Breach was super bad, dude. That leave a bad taste in my mouth when I discovered the game, when I saw the gameplays of it before I stopped seeing the game. And my god, dude, that leave a really bad taste in my mouth. I did not love it at all. Actually, am I over exaggerating? No. I meant mostly about this painting, but if I'm exaggerating over the criticism of Security Breach, I'm not. I'm not regretting to say this, but Security Breach is so bad. It's buggy. The story absolutely makes no sense. Like, I enjoy the story of FNAF, but these days, I don't know what got into their minds to think that doing whatever story they did was a good idea, because it was not. Anyway, but that's just it's just me. If you guys love Security Breach, and because you ignored the bugs and everything, leave in the comments why you love the game, because I personally think it's just the definition of a bad game. And not 06, and maybe 06 style, was the game is straight up almost unfinished. At least they patched it, which I recently discovered that, but it still does not save the game on its first release. And plus the story is still bad. So yeah, with Legends also, the reason why I haven't posted anything for Legends is because I'm planning on doing mostly on the shorts. Because the problem comes, I discovered, is that, well, yes, I can play the game, record, and everything, and perhaps more perfect than ever. The issue comes that I want to post it during these type of recording I'm doing right now. The issue comes is that my computer and my phone do not want to connect. Like, I'm straight up saying, it does not want to connect. Actually, I have to... You know what? I'm leaving Boyfriend Spirals for another time. Or just showcase that another time. So we're straight up heading to Girlfriend, who is going to be the longest one. Just so sit back and enjoy, or if not, leave immediately or skip this until the end. Because expect me to just say this is going to be longer than the Boyfriend one. Actually, where am I supposed to go? Oh, yeah. Actually, was this laggy a bit? No, I think that was me, right? I think it was lagging a bit. Forget it. Let's see what it looks like, Boyfriend, right now. Jeez. I'm not denying, like, whenever I see this, it just makes me fill with joy, because I do these things, and I just absolutely just enjoy painting these drawings. Actually, I'm not done with almost a black spot to Boyfriend. I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm officially done with Boyfriend. Now let's head back to Girlfriend. Girlfriend is actually has the most design, just because I want to represent the fact that my friend Bonyx has possibly the world record for most detailed character in history. Like, I'm straight up saying this, and not as an insult or making fun of her. She just won an award for that. Not like literally. I'm just saying this because Bonyx has a character who is a furry. Actually, do not hate comments on her because she likes furries. Do not, or seriously, you're in trouble. If you heard somebody that was just my stepsister, not in a good day. But that's personal, so I'm not saying anything. So yeah, Bonyx gets the award for the characters with the most detail ever. If you think many characters get so much detail, look at Bonyx in the paintings in her Instagram. Like, she has a lot of details in her drawings. Actually, I'm just right now noticing I had to actually paint soon this thing, but I'm not doing it right now. Actually, because I also have to make sure I draw this the pink version of the corruption, which, yes, I am planning on using other colors from the corruption in order to make sure this makes sense. Now you may be thinking I'm being lazy and I'm drawing this with lines and everything. Well, I'm so accustomed to it. If you think this is a poor drawing selection, leave it in the comments or spare me them, because I know it's a bit lazy, but can you blame me? Look at all of this. Not even I cannot even do it with my mouse. Like, look at this. Like, let me just showcase you all. Oh, come on. You see? Like, you see this. Like, no, thank you. I would rather these things be a bit straight, if I'm being completely honest. Which is why I use mostly this one, because it's the one that mostly works on me. Now, you may notice that this is just a photo of it, and this is because, at least while bare minimum cannot display the image, I cannot display in my the picture, the view on my phone. I can still actually put this thing and connect it with a phone, and just simply be able to do all these drawings here. That's basically what I can do. Now you may be thinking, why am I drawing this on this side of paper? Well, this is because I'm doing this, I'm planning to actually extend a bit the drawing so that the paper version and the normal version do not like look weird, because look what happens when it, oops, wrong one. Look what happens when it's not like that. It looks weird. It just looks weird. Anyway, let's go back to it, and I'm actually gonna finish this first because this is the shortest one. And that itself will almost wrap up this part. This one is easy. Like, this one is straight up easy. Whoa, the lag. Yeah, I personally am not a fan of lags, including on Legends. For those who play Legends, tell me this. Vote on what's the most annoying, getting lag or getting forfeits. Because I say mostly that lags is the worst one of them all. Because if you're battling against someone who's doing this on purpose, they're cheating, just basically. Which is no fun at all. Oh my god. Whoa. There we go. And with that, we're done with this part. I'm actually gonna make sure I do this just to separate it, because I'm actually planning on using the color of red and whatever the color that the corruption color has. And yeah. This is actually really fun for me talking while I'm painting as well. I know a lot of people will see this video and see because it's long, and why not doing a speed art? Well, basically because I don't know how to edit these videos. And if you think I'm gonna edit something that I am talking, you are sadly mistaken. Also, because editing for me just costs money, and because because the money I receive is from college, I'm not doing any of that. Now you say that I'm being dummy. I'm paying this thing with the college money. Also, half of the money I got is actually from the work I do with my mother to help her, actually, because she also like promised me a bit of payment if I do a bit of her work, because either she can't do it or the other workers are just not there to do it. It's not calling lazy, it's just that at least bare minimum at least bare minimum, she's getting double help and making her life a bit easier with that. These days, however, I'm not been doing it because I got one mistake that just took me almost 5 hours to try to fix. Unfortunately, my grandma, who also is working, had to fix the issues I caused, all because they never told me. And because they have never told me the issue, and I had to fix it, I decided I was not going to do those anymore because that was ridiculous. I'm not saying what specifically what that was. It was just so embarrassing. So yeah, I don't want to do those again. That mistake again. And the way I don't do the mistakes again is by not doing that work anymore. I know I'm being selfish, but can you blame me? Imagine this: you're doing a work from your mother, like she asked you to do. She promised you just a bit of cash and just a bit of money, and you do it. Like you do it just because you want the money. Imagine this: you do it almost the way your mother wants, until she sees you doing the work, knows how well you're doing, but then realizing that you did an error. And because you have a bad computer, not mine actually, I used another computer who was just so bad. Like imagine that you do this mistake, the computer is horrible because it takes so long to fix the mistake, and you have to do this almost in every single thing you've done, like say like a 500 things, and you have to fix it. Tell me that if that does not rage quit on you, because it did for me. If you say that I'm being a crybaby, then maybe yes, but please just agree with me. Also, if you're asking why am I drawing like these messed up hairstyles, it's because I want to showcase how the characters are, while they were corrupt, they messed up her hair. They messed up their hairs, which the reimagined corruption mod actually does that perfectly. Also, Phantom Fierce's version of it as well, although mostly falls on Boyfriend. Yeah, let me stay quiet for just a while, just because I need to stay concentrated. Okay. Yeah, sorry I'm not talking. Like I said, I need to concentrate a bit because this is actually becoming a bit complicated, and I have to basically erase some of the things I'm doing. Now, if you're asking, when did I ever start painting in my life? Well, here's the thing. This is just a simple story. I did this when I was just a little boy. Like I was a little boy. And I'm still one. No, but seriously, what I mean mostly is that I did this ever since I was a baby. The first drawings I ever made, I think they come either from Wally or Elmo, who I used to watch, but not anymore. Ever since that, like that seriously horrible nightmare I got, that Big Bird was Big Bird was in this like some sort of like video. I don't know what happened, and he started making this horrible noise. I didn't know what happened there, but I knew for a fact that something was wrong. When I checked, that thing was almost like that thing had the logo of Universal. That made me so angry, the fact that one of my childhood things, even though I didn't like it, I was starting to like it after I realized the whole thing with the Elmo versus Rocco thing. I still find that to be very hilarious. Oh my god! Like I think one of my favorite scenes of that is when I watched one of the episodes for the first time. Maybe is that I watch how Elmo, like straight up, is like super angry at Rocco, but not in the clip of the video that normally made viral. It was actually this scene where Elmo was gonna say the number of the day or something like that, and I think it was Zoe, actually the name, yeah, Zoe, who says, Rocco says 12. Of course, Elmo gets mad because he was supposed to say it, not a stupid rock, which, of course, he's just makes a stupid excuse to say why Rocco wanted to say it. Elmo then starts screaming. Like, that was so out of character, but I loved it because it's just showcased that, well, yes, Elmo is just a super childish character. There's even some things there where a nice character can lose his cool, and I personally like that. That was actually one of the first things, but that was also the trigger for that nightmare I had for a Big Bird, because I don't hate Elmo specifically. I hate now Big Bird because of that stupid nightmare I got. And I may never moved on from that because it was just so bad. Not that bad, like I say, that was a very horrible graphical stream. It was just bad because it scared the heck out of me. When I woke up, I was trembling. It showcased that I was definitely scared of what I saw there, just because I did not understand one simple thing, seeing the universal thing. Also because I wanted to turn that thing off in a dream. In a dream, I remember that I wanted to turn that thing off, like straight up. But all I had to do was turn off the computer, because it was the only way to shut that thing off, and it worked, but it still scared me. And I just straight up said to myself, I don't want to watch anything related to Big Bird, like, ever. That was just a horrible nightmare. Now, let's pause for a second to see how long have I been doing this. Well, we're reaching the point that this is mostly a 1 hour video of me painting this thing and also talking. I think I will only do this one tiny editing to just add a song to this entire video, because I personally hate how long this thing is taking. This is why I don't want to do videos like these anymore. Even though this is my first video ever doing it, I never want to do it. Because as you straight up see, this is super long. And I don't like it because, well, for whatever reason, my shorts work. And what I realized is that while yes, short work is because they're so short. That's not a pun. And when it comes to overall that, it's just that I find out because my videos are super long, like for example, the Indie Cross Marathon I did, which I really now discovered that was not a marathon I did. That video did not even go well because it was super 1 hour long, dude. And this video is falling on that category. Either this video may get good views just because it's a drawing video, or it's not, and it's just gonna be extremely failure of a drawing video. Like, I'm straight up gonna say it. If this video does not get any views, I'm not doing this again. Because then I realized that these type of things, I can do it, but do I want to because they're long? I'm trying my best to always make sure that my videos are actually a bit shorter, around 30 minutes and everything. But unfortunately, because there's a ton of things I can do with such things, I don't get that work done. And I personally mostly fail on it and making the videos around the 40s or 50s because I never done a 1 hour thing. And yeah. Now you may be asking, why is her arms like claws, like a freaking cat or something? Well, because that's a feature I actually just wanted to add as a mention, as a reference to the other girlfriend from Phantom Fears, because Phantom Fears' girlfriend is actually very different, and because her hands are actually claws, but whatever they change back to the original girlfriend, they are removed, and instead it's replaced with her normal arms, not claws. And what is this like line of, like, say water or something? This is just straight up blood. And yes, I could do the pencil with this thing because, well, blood can spewed, right? Now, let's finish me talking about the prior Q&A, because I've been doing this video talking about a lot of things, maybe with upcoming things and everything, but prior Q&A is actually going to be the only thing I want to mention finally before I mention the other thing I was supposed to mention. I completely forgot, and is that prior Q&A will be doing this. We'll be showcasing short versions of the episode, like previews before the actual release, and then in the comments, if we even get that, if we get that feature, I will be posting like maybe a thumbnail of the episode and also the release date, because right now we don't have any, and of course we are still working on the sketches of the characters. If you want to know, go on my comments on this channel and see my sketches for Jack's expression, which are not going to be a thing still. I'm not planning on painting them right now. And even the first expression, which will be in the first episode. But yeah, Brian Q&A is just going to be a very decent start for us in the first episode. I don't have many high hopes for it, unless we do something to get the attention of people, which we're going to be doing it because the show is going to actually be a bit funny. Yes, it's going to be a comedian show to actually attract people who actually just want to laugh. But that may cause that my friends start laughing and we have to cut every single and restart the entire thing again. Because what we're going to be doing is to do clip videos, only that to actually merge them all. That way we can get some, like, mostly a more decent editing for the video, because let's be honest, neither of me or my friends can edit anything. My friend Kikito plans on being some sort of coding gaming or something, and Bonyx wants to do her beauty or something. For those who don't know what that means, it's actually she's doing nails and everything, which not a bad idea, like, at all. My mother would love that. Definitely. So that's the issue. We don't have someone to edit. If somebody knows how to edit something, you can comment in the comments below to say that you do know and that you want to connect with me, Kikito, and Bonyx. That way you can help us with this project and just make it a reality to make sure this has become a good thing for us. Because the reason why I'm creating this project with my friends is that I want to actually just start bonding more ever since the Hurricane Maria incident, which I'm still not. Only thing I feel like I moved on a bit from that issue, although not entirely. Let's see what it looks like now. Yeah, it looks good. Now, will I be drawing the teeth and everything? Yes, I may, but I'm not sure about this. So what I'm gonna do is actually just leave. Is that once the video ends, I will be painting these on their color versions, so that way the thumbnail doesn't look weird with no eyes in these characters. But now let's talk about what I was gonna mention, and it's going to be El Chavo rewrite. So for those who don't know what is El Chavo, it's a Mexican series that was created by Roberto Gomez Bolaño, and he sadly passed away so many years ago. May he rest in peace. But what I was saying, the series, what I'm going to be doing is actually giving a rewrite to the series, but not the live action version. I'm talking about the animated series, because while it was good, there's a bajillion of issues with it, and that mostly is caused because they decided to remove the logic over the first 2 seasons, and from season 3 to the season finale, which was gonna be originally season 7, and every single logic was thrown away by giving the characters more cartoony animations. And while it really worked because all the characters' movements were very good, unfortunately, because there was no logic in such things, no episode really saved the series. And plus, after the death of Chespirito, which is Roberto's nickname, they decided to cancel the show. That was sad, but I must say it was for the good, because the series was not going on a good way until they even released this very, very horrible animation for like El Chavo, whatever they were calling it, whatever it was like abysmal. It was a massive amount of failure because that was a lazy way to try to tell another story for El Chavo. What basically my rewrite is going to be is that what I'm gonna be saying is saying all the problems that is within the series, like for example the logic that makes no sense, also the characters, which I will be talking about more about basically on the characters, because there's some characters who have a very big character destruction, and overall that they're basically make them so unlikable, and mostly comes that from Kiko, who is one of the characters in the show, and unfortunately he's just the most unlikable character alongside his mother, Doña Florinda, who, sorry if I talked a bit closer, I actually, oh come on, what is this? I'm actually using the keyboard to actually fix the issue I'm doing here. Finally I fixed it. I'm almost done. Wow, I can't believe I'm lasting this long with these type of things. If this video doesn't reach a bare minimum 10 views and please a bare minimum 5 likes, I'm not doing this thing anymore. Like straight up, I'm straight up saying, if this video does not do good, I'm not straight up doing these things anymore, because it's just gonna showcase that even long videos are not working for me. Okay, that's a perfect tea. I'm actually gonna try that on almost all of them. So yeah, rewrite El Chavo del Ocho is actually just going to be that. And the way it's going to work is that the first ever telling of the rewrite will be just me straight up saying all the flaws that the anime series has, mostly specific, like from the this tiny thing commercial for something, Chavo's voice was changed, and some people may know that I was the first person to ever freaking rage at Chavo's new voice actor. I did not love it in the slightest. I hated it for most of it. Like, there's nothing about it I actually liked about it. I thought it was just atrocious, which made me lose a ton of hope for the series. Luckily, they didn't do all those things anymore. They just continue with the Facebook page, which always is a lot of updating for each season that is coming. Like for example, now that it is February, this is Valentine's Day. Do I have a Valentine? No, and I don't think I'm not getting one anytime. And do not comment nothing on that, please. I don't want anything about that in this month. This month is just not my favorite. If you're asking one of my favorite seasons is just straight up Christmas and winter. If you think it's spring or summer, yes, but the issue comes is that I don't like spring at all for overall the temperature, because I'm Puerto Rican. Yeah, I can take the heat. I can take a heat, like not from a desert level, but of course like a normal sun. But sadly, because my body is actually very used to the cold already, I do not tolerate any more like extreme heats. Even my brother, who is Puerto Rican and plays football in his school, he gets pissed off if he's so in the heat. Like, it's just straight up. Okay. I think I officially done the part 1 for this thing. Now, expect that in the thumbnail you'll see the eyes, and there'll be a comment with the picture of it in this position. Now, do do you all find everything I said interesting, and you have a bit of are gonna wait for them? Leave in the comments what is the specific thing you want me to talk about more, either El Chavo rewrite, prior Q&A, and or the other games I'm planning to do. Sadly, I can't do Nintendo Switch games because I don't have an OBS USB cable to connect the computer with a Nintendo. Now, hope you all enjoy that at least. If I'm able to get that cable, I may do this special run, like this special like marathon, or not a marathon actually. My bad. This mostly playthrough of Super Mario Odyssey, which I bought that game days ago because I was so nostalgic about it, and I may do the video before the Super Mario movie comes out, which I'm super like you do not understand. I'm super hyped for that movie. You have no idea, dude. Like, I'm so hyped for that movie. Hope that if they reveal the next trailer, they present us something new that will just make me scream. Because you want to know what will make me scream? It's to see Luigi do something. It's just straight up to see Luigi do something. Because if I see Luigi do something, you're straight up seeing me want to see the movie twice. You'll straight up want to see me see the movie twice, and you're just gonna think I'm a Luigi fanboy, but I'm just technically am a Luigi fan, not a Mario fan, unfortunately. So yeah, I will be mostly hyped for the Mario movie, and if I do manage to play the Nintendo Switch on this, I will do a Mario Odyssey playthrough of some parts before the movie comes out, which is on April 7th. For those who don't know, Mario is coming on April 7th, and I think around March I will be doing that. I will be doing the Mario playthrough until April 7th, which is when the movie comes out. My entire family is hyped for it. Like, they all said that they want to go to watch the movie once it's out. But for some reason, they also want to watch the Barbie movie, which is coming in this year as well. And I don't understand why. I hate Barbie. Anyway. This is going to be the end of the video. Be sure to hit like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on Instagram so that you can watch more arts like these ones, completed, and DeviantArt as well. And also follow Bonyx and Kikito on their respective channels. Kikito has two. Kikito has the Instagram and the YouTube channel. Follow him in there if you want to see more drawings from him, if he decides to do it again. And follow Bonyx so that she can continue to be happy or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, hope to see you all another day, and hope you enjoyed this video.